All right. Hello. Welcome everyone. Welcome everybody to the Tuesday's London Open Silver Bullet. As always, 10 minutes ahead, I will do the pre-market analysis. But right away, I want to make a quick little review of yesterday's price action. Yes, it was a holiday volume, but the sell-side liquidity, the point of interest, the drawn liquidity that I was favoring on the downside was basically reached overnight during the Asia. So that's interesting nonetheless. And yeah, now let's go straight to the actual pre-market analysis. I will clear or clean this a little bit. Remove the sell-side liquidity pools. I don't need them at this moment. I will remove those two. All right. What do we have for ES? Still, we do have the new week opening up in here, which is in some sort of a close proximity, around 20 handles. So that looks interesting on the first sight to me. We are consolidating since middle of Asia, and we are doing so around the all-time high on the daily chart. That's swing high, and just meandering around. Not much in terms of like very obvious levels, but nonetheless, let's annotate the buy side liquidity. Because that's where it resides, and the sell side liquidity. No level that's like super clean. There are some relative equal highs here and there, relative equal lows here that I like definitely, but we are a little bit like too close. Too close to them already, so it's kind of not as much useful, I guess. All right, let's go to the Nasdaq and let's do the same on Nasdaq. Hello, Mr. Trader P1. Welcome. Nasdaq obviously also reached the sell-side liquidity that I was looking for. Also has the new week opening up open. Yet to reach the all-time highs. But Nasdaq left way smoother buy sell liquidity at the highs in here. That's way too clean. So to me, it seems like Nasdaq didn't say the last word on the upside. Okay, those relative equal highs are definitely too clean. Definitely too clean at all-time highs. So that is something that I think that I will be gravitating towards. Possibly today, tomorrow. Let's see what we'll get, but that is something that I have currently in mind. That's way too clean as it is. And similar action to ES in terms of just banging around in sort of a consolidation in here. Alright, so that's the fair value gaps. That's the first presentation, kinda. All right. In terms of any SMT, ES made a higher high, Nasdaq made a lower high in here. In terms of a 15-minute time frame, oh, I'm a little bit sleepy today though. No, for some reason didn't slept very well, but let's keep it rolling. All right, so the new week opening up here on both, but yes, it's relatively closer to it. Yes, it's relatively closer to it, so might have an easier time drawing down into it. This definitely seems like the draw that I would like to go with initially. All right, so initially expecting that new week opening up, and either if it would fail to go there or go there actually, then I'll be considering if it offers any discount sensitivity inside of it, I suppose. Because yeah, that's kind of how I see it though. That the new week opening up might be the more likely near-term draw. But yeah, let's see. So far there is really not much that is speaking to me at all. Look at all of these levels on the downside. Everything is lower. On the hourly chart, yeah, not much. On 4 hour we have a CB that I'll annotate for completeness sake. And we'll see how useful will that actually be going forward. Yep. All right. So admittedly, I felt a little bit more confident yesterday with the price action versus what we have today necessarily, but fair enough. It's basically like the loan open after a holiday trading, which is or can be maybe I don't want to say problematic, but can be just sloppy sometimes. All right, so I think I have all of the levels that I want on my chart, but I'm not necessarily sure what I want to do with them. My initial idea that I favor is that we could maybe be going lower. But it's kind of hard to tell. All right, besides that, I think we have everything that was needed near term. First of all, we would need to be moving outside of this consolidation. So that's what I'm waiting for or looking for. To move outside of the consolidation first. Not sure what this is here. The 3 a.m. started, but as I said, I don't necessarily have a clear idea from the start. Therefore, I'll just wait. But yeah, right now, especially for Nasdaq, I'm thinking have those very, very, very clean and smooth relative equal highs. And we have the new week opening up. Both are very reasonable for potential draw on liquidity. So yeah, worst case scenario, I'm waiting for one to get tapped first, but maybe or hopefully I will get an idea about what it might be doing earlier, but we'll see. We'll see. So a little bit of displacement on the downside or on ES. That's cool, but it's still inside of this consolidation kinda, meaning that I still need to wait a little bit. Also, we are taking the minor sell at relative equal lows right away. The lows are being taken, which was a very smooth, nice level that was made jagged right now, and that could maybe lead to no, maybe not. Maybe not. But let's see if this displacement is truly willing to seek the new week opening up. It will need to show. It will need to show. So this inefficiency in here, that's my first presentation that I like for the London Open silver bullet trading. That's a nice pronounced silver bullet that took out this low as well. So it looks pretty. We also took those relative equal lows as well, and we failed to generally take out this sell set here. So natural order would be think about retracement into this first presentation and then repel quickly lower for attacking this low. that's what would happen if it's more bearish, I would say. I don't have that visibility at this moment by any means. I also want to annotate the buy sell liquidity here. On the near term, short term, that could be somewhat useful for this hour. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, in terms of the lows, Nasdaq is not matching the 1 a.m. low with ES. ES 1 a.m. low was already taken out. Nasdaq not yet. So let's see. The perspective is that the new week opening up could have been the draw. I like how we traded into the first presentation here and leaving it. And for me, if it's really good and going lower, we should not need to come back into it, in my opinion. I'm not sure if we can actually do that, but that's all right. So the sell side here was being taken out nicely off of this first presentation. The Nasdaq did took out the 1 a.m. low, but it's still has to reach the sell side liquidity there, which ES already did poked. Both are looking as some way of a bear flag, right? These are looking way too clean bear flags on 15-minute time frame. Like, look at this here, here, classic bear flag. Same on ES. So we'll see whether that's a trap or not. I still want to be careful because we were moving lower overnight. Then we went into this consolidation in here, which, yeah, maybe it could deliver to that new week opening up. Maybe it could repel higher towards the buy side. Both are kind of like possible, and we are basically in the middle of the range, so playing it by the ear, I guess. Small little inefficiency in here inside of this. That's interesting. If it's bearish, this looks nice for selling off in here. I'm just kind of like not sure myself if it actually is, but yeah, I like the new week opening up as the draw. Mm. Yeah, it's already moving away, so but that would be like hypothetical idea with seeking the new week opening up still. So that would be like a low-hanging fruit objective on ES. That looks pretty damn interesting, but making this low, I mean taking this low, 3 lower lows here. All right, I'm out of here. Aiming Q, sweeping the sell set here, matching the lows with ES. Also having first presentation here. Good morning, Money Glitch. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I mean, today, London Open session, I don't feel it that well, though. I don't feel it that well. We'll see, maybe we can cook still something. Maybe we can cook still something, but I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we already taken the sell liquidity here, on the near term, right? And now, I mean, now we are on the crossroads, right? We either gonna continue lower, right? But we also could consolidate or retrace at this moment. Especially in my mind, while having this like bear flag that's looking like it's working right now, but it could be a false one. That could be a false breakout. Take it one more time higher, clear out the buy side near term, and then maybe roll over, right? That's like an idea that I have in mind, because yeah, with this going down like this right away, that could be enticing for new shorts, breakout shorts below this low. That's why I kind of don't want to be short at this moment, even though I like the idea of it drawing to the new week opening up. But I would rather see some run on the buy side liquidity first and then go in. That would be way more comfortable. In here, that's not necessarily my model. I would say not necessarily what I'm looking as for the model. So I guess observation mode, but yeah, at the same time, if it's good, it should not come back to the first presentation, really. I mean, it could, for one touch, but overall it shouldn't. It should be running away quickly, I suppose. So yeah, I guess if I were quicker thinking today, I could have been considering the first presentation here. I could have been considering that. And aiming for the sell side and below it slightly to like the event horizon between sell side and the new week opening up high, to like the midpoint of that. But yeah, that's kind of gone already. So yeah, fair enough. I mean, still a little bit tricky of a condition where we are, right? Because yeah, we approach all-time highs yesterday. We're coming off of them a little bit today. Obviously not trying to call for the top of the market place yet. So like buying is still potentially preferred until proven clearly otherwise. So yeah, I mean, chasing shorts seems a little bit riskier at this moment. That's why I think I'm gonna pass on it right now, unless it shows me something that would make it somewhat clean and obvious in terms of what I would like to do. I mean, if we would, for example, if we would fail to reach the new week opening up, for example, or fail to make an attempt to reach towards that, and we would go above this first presentation, I would reasonably expect that to act as a bullish inversion fair value gap, and I would be pretty content with taking a long there, potentially, to aim for the buy sell liquidity and above it. Just as a scalp, I believe that could have been a reasonable idea to go for. But yeah, so far that's not necessarily in the cards, which is yeah, fine. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, if it's good on the downside and it's drawing lower, it should really not be coming back higher, and it should be just tearing apart any short-term lows and making large displacement below them. That's very important. So far we are making lower lows, yes, but they are very shallow and no real continuation is offered afterwards. After we already taken a measure of sell side liquidity overall, right? So a lot of sell side being potentially consumed in here. So that's what I'm a little bit concerned about, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. So yeah, on the upside, that would be like the line in the sand. It could go up there and still roll over lower if it wants to. But after all of the sell set being taken out like this, if we go above the first presentation here, I would expect potentially use it as inversion and aim higher. That's what I have in mind at this moment. So let's see if we can turn around, because otherwise I feel like I'll be chasing shorts. And if it wanted the new week opening up, it could have been already stretching towards that. It's not. So that's also a little bit suspect in my mind. So yeah, let's see if we can inverse that. And if we can, then that might be a potential long for me. If not, then I'll just wait. That would land really well with that false breakout off of this bear flag in here. And I'm not even saying that it should go all-time highs after that, but seeking the buy side and a trade into this 4-hour bearish fair value gap would be quite reasonable, I guess, to expect. So yeah, I mean, I either get what I want, or this is just an observation type of session. But yeah, if we can inverse that, and it's possible, I think still possible, then that could be an idea for me, like this. Exactly. So something like this, if we could do that, would be in the realm of my interest. But all right, I'm watching this busy right now, how it delivers in here. That would be like more aggressive idea approaching this. I don't know if I'm as confident to be super aggressive about it. Therefore, I'm rather waiting for the first presented fair value gap here to be inversed, if possible. And yeah, we are soon gonna be going into the 330, and that's usually when the next or new price swing starts. Assuming that this was one price swing here lower to take out the sell liquidity, it already shows no willing to continue lower by now. So if that's the case, and if we run above it, that's a long targeting the buy sell liquidity here, and for good measure targeting or being ahead of, or exiting ahead of, the consecutive encroachment of the 4-hour bearish fair value gap in here. So that's like the idea that I have right now, and we'll see what we get. So I'm watching now the lows on both Nasdaq and ES. It will go lower till 2950, 500. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. It could. It definitely could. It sure as hell could. But alright, so 330 will be launching here. And we'll see if we can get pushed back inside of the range in here. Or not. Hi everyone, hello. Current new week opening up. Yeah, I mean, that still might be the draw. That still might be the draw. I'm just not liking the fact that it's stalling so much after sales liquidity here was taken. And these two already, in my opinion, should have been sending it more aggressively lower. If we see that, that's fine. That's fine. If not, that's also good. After all, it's the London Open session after holiday, and it can have some shenanigans happening or going on. So far, this BC is really not presenting or offering any support structure. Looks like the ES and Nasdaq are going to match the lows near term. So that would mean potentially no SMT on the lows. So if that's the case, taking this short-term low should lead to an expansion towards the new week opening up and like really be drawing down there. Because yeah, I mean there is no real reason to retrace higher at this moment in my mind, unless it's gonna be a deeper retracement for the buy side here or something like that. So yeah, why I'm not necessarily willing to participate in that run to that new week opening up, because that's a draw lower, right? So I would need to go short to get it, right? And I generally prefer not going short after sales liquidity was just taken out. And that's what it was in here. We just taken sales liquidity, many sales liquidity pools, and I was meant to go short. It could deliver, yes. That's just not necessarily what I was personally looking for in terms of a setup. So we'll see. Yeah, nice reaction off of that inversion fair value gap here. Close below it, tapped into it. Nice poke towards the event horizon between the sell side and the new week opening up high. That's potentially drawing price down into it. All right, Nasdaq also matching that. Dollar rather neutral. So still, not only we've taken many sales liquidity pools, after taking this low here, it gotta continue, right? Because otherwise it doesn't really offer like a super high probability that we are actually gonna go there, because deeper retracements then could have been a factor, right? So it would be really important for the price to really be smashing towards that, if it's proper. The fact that we are like so extended in this run lower in here, and it's still like not really showing that final blow, that's suspect to me. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, why I would prefer at this moment to capture a potential long from this inversion here to the buy side there, instead of going short here to the new week opening up, because we consumed all the sell side liquidity in here already. So I would have that behind me, that we've taken the sell side, right? And if it would show displacement, then I would be very comfortable that we will be seeking some buy side to unload it, right? Right now, that's a little bit a different type of bird that still could fly to that new week opening up. I'm not saying that it can't, but this is just not the setup that I'm personally looking for right now. And yeah, that's how it is, I guess. And if it means that I miss it or I don't participate, then I mean, I'm fine with that, I guess. That's not the first one, after all, that I will miss. So yeah. All right, so if it's still continuously bearish, we don't want to see any close above the upper half or above the 50% of this little inversion in here, right? Hello, good morning. Welcome to the party. The party has slowed down a little bit right now, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, after the 330 kicked in and it did this initial run lower in here off of this, it really should have been continuing lower in my mind. Otherwise, all of this is pretty high resistance delivery, even though the inefficiencies in here were nicely respected. So that's a little bit suspect to me. Also, this is a very small amount of range still, right? From here to the first printed fry, it's 7 handles. So we moved 7 handles all together. Which, yeah, I mean, it's respectable, right? All right. I mean, 7 handles is 7 handles, but the way we did it took like almost 40 minutes to develop the 7 handle run. And yeah, I mean, that's not usually how it looks like or how it should look like when you have a very strong drawn liquidity, right? Because if you have a strong drawn liquidity, price just would like already be there in less time and larger ranges, and not doing this you know, petty little runs lower. But nonetheless, we are tracing back into this potential inversion fair value gap in here. If it's gonna continue, it has to repel aggressively from this lower half of this. I'm not interested in taking a short here because we've taken many sell-side liquidity pools in a row, while no buy side was taken really since here. So since an hour, basically no buy side was taken, only sell side, and no follow through. That's to me very suspect, and that's why I prefer or suspect that we might see a blow up to the upside. Will that be the case? I don't know. We'll see, but I would rather be a part of that than chasing shorts on the lows, right? So that's kind of like the logic that I have. All right, I will check the YM for the good measure, but looks like it's doing the same with the ES and Nasdaq pretty much. So yeah, all right, already price traded above this potential bearish fair value gap. Maybe not necessarily above on a closing basis yet, but above the consecutive encroachment, and that's not what I would like to see. So now I guess we have still game on to watch whether we will inverse this fair value gap in here and the first presented fair value gap that could offer a potential run into the buy side here, and that would be like a sweet idea there. I mean, there is still possibility that we will not trade into the new week opening up at all, right? Initially, and that would be indicative in further continuation higher and seeking all-time highs, which definitely is not ruled out at this point. So we'll see what we get, I suppose. Dollar index initially repelling off of that new week opening up on its own, which can suggest a near-term weakness on dollar, short-term strength on indices. That would be lining well, I guess, with current situation. Yeah, I mean, so this could act as inversion too, but I want to see a closure above it first, and then I can think about it. Same at this first presentation here. So we'll see how it goes, if it goes at all too, and then there might be a trade that I'm willing to take. So let's see. For me, this looks like the shorts on the breakout, or anyone that was really short was or is being trapped. Really. And the smart money was just accumulating longs. Now to send it higher and just take out anyone who was short, just nail them. That's what I'm thinking, but might be wrong. So this would have been a little bit more aggressive, I suppose, but still reasonably doable. Still reasonably doable, and that would be even allowing me to get out before the buy set here. So that would be even higher probability that I will get out if it's good. So let's see, but we first of all need to see a close above this. We need to see a close above this, and if we do, then any return, it should act as inversion fair value gap and send the price higher. If I'm correct on my assumptions in here. So let's see. It looks like it's lining pretty well into the macro also. So that's something I like. And I think I have two opportunities, either this lower inversion or the first presented as inversion. So that's what I'm thinking, that potentially I have two opportunities to capture or secure the entry. So let's see. No close above it as it is yet, but we are digging deeper into it. So I would expect to price close above it in the next 1, 2, 3 minutes at most. Aggressive way would be entering right away without waiting for inversion. But I guess I want to practice what I preach and just wait for that close above it, and then if I can get a return, then I'll be looking to enter a potential long in that case, or in this case. All right, it's spending some time in the upper half of it, but no real close above it as it is right now. We are just gonna be entering the 350 macro, so that would be also like the time, really the time for it to start showing those inversions and respecting them nicely. So we'll see if it rolls over from here. No pain for me. So yeah, I think I have a clear idea on what I want to do. So that's definitely a good start to consider a trade or taking a trade. Yeah, dollar index getting weaker in here. So yeah, it should have no problems really to go above that and inverse it. We'll see. There is a bullish breaker also in here that we are going to be capitalizing on right now or very soon. All right, so that's trading back inside of the breaker. I'm glad that I wasn't aggressive and didn't enter ahead of closing above it, because I would be suffering this type of move against me. Never fun. But yeah, we traded into the breaker, or also this reclaimed bullish fair value gap technically, because that was a busy originally. So let's see if we can respect the upper half of it and trade away. I mean, after all, if we don't, if we just fail and roll over lower, then you know I don't have like anything to worry about. I didn't trade it, right? So I'll just not be a part of move lower, and that's it. How to be patient like me? I don't know, man. Am I so patient though? Am I? I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's my superpower. Yeah. I mean, I always been patient, and I've been patient with majority of the things in my life, so it works in trading too for me. But yeah, nonetheless, we made a deeper trade into this breaker here still. If we make a lower low in here, then I suppose I was like incorrect about the idea, but I'm still thinking that from here we could, I mean, generally if we inverse still and don't take this low out, and if we inverse this fair value gap here or this representation here, that's still a viable long if we can manage to get that before 4 a.m. That would be ideal. Still 6 minutes left. If that happens, I will take a trade. If that will not happen, then I guess I just pass, and the morning session will be my go-to, which is also, I guess, fine. As this session necessarily didn't give me what I was really looking for. So yeah, we went below it here again. So let's see if it can act as bearish inversion for value gap there. I don't think so, or I'm not like super confident that it will. But yeah, I'm still thinking that we could rip higher and close above those, and that would be, or that should be, an easy long for me. But yeah, 4 minutes left, so we are running a little bit out of time. But yeah, if that's the case and I don't get an entry the way I want it, I'm also content with not taking a unnecessary loss or anything like that. So yeah, Nasdaq also losing ground a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're working off of this 15-minute CB near term, the last CB before taking the sell set here. And it's just kind of repairing price lower near term. But all right. 3 more minutes left. Theoretically, if we could jump above this inefficiency here in 2 candles and close above it, then I would still have an entry. But otherwise, I will need to pass. So let's see. All right, nice start, larger range. Keep pushing a little bit higher, and the next one close above here, and I mean, sounds simple. But yeah. All right, so this candle needs to go above this, I mean close above this inefficiency here for me to enter. Is it likely? Probably not. But is it impossible? Probably also not, right? But yeah. All right, but on the other hand, we are forming a little busy in here. A little busy in here that's truth to be told, interesting. Not that we will get it though, but because it's more likely to be a breakaway gap. But if price would tap into it, that's interesting though. Not necessarily what I was initially looking for, but interesting. But yeah, it's already hitting the time window is being passed. So 4 a.m. I cannot be taking any trades after that. So it is what it is. But looks like we still could see that inversion here. And I suppose if that would still happen inside of the macro overall, so until 410, I would say that's still considerable to deliver. But yeah, I'm not gonna participate in that and just go to the morning session. Hello Sonia, hello, welcome. You came just for the end of the stream, but nonetheless, no trades today so far. So the morning session is my next go-to, as it is. And yeah, so nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in today. It was a pleasure as always, and I'll be there for the morning session to find my little silver bullet there. Little review of this session here. I was a little bit torn in between. What time do you start? Always 10 minutes ahead of the silver bullet hour. I'm there, and I'm doing the pre-market analysis. 2:50 a.m. 2:50 a.m. I'm already doing the pre-market analysis, and I do the same before every time window, which means the next one is 10 a.m. so I'll be 9:50 there. But nonetheless, the new week opening gap was looking interesting as the draw on liquidity initially, right? The problem with that on my side was that we started seeking that off of taking sell side liquidity first, and I generally prefer, if going short, to be taking buy side liquidity first. Otherwise, it's a little bit problematic many times in my mind to be shorting after sell side was already taken. That's usually not the best case scenario. So therefore I was really unwilling to take a short in here, and I was thinking that they were scooping all of that sell side liquidity, really leaving the buy side, trapping anyone to go short on a breakout below sell side liquidity, right? And then just take it up and attack the buy side first. That was what I had eventually in mind, but it didn't necessarily pan out either. So a little bit of a nothing burger type of session that didn't present it that much in terms of opportunities. Yes, some little price swings were there, but they were so small that they were just behind my model operation. But yeah, that's going to be it. So thanks for watching, and see you guys for the morning session, and we'll see what we'll get there. Preferably something cleaner, but we'll see.